All right, let's dive right in. When you hear the name Emilia Romagna, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most people, it's an incredible lineup of some of the best food on the entire planet. I mean, we are talking about a true culinary heartland, famous all over the world. But that brings up a really good question, right? With all this amazing, world-class food on the table, what are people drinking with it? Well, it turns out the answer is a wine scene that's just as rich and incredible as the food, but it kind of flies under the radar. So today, we're going to uncork the secrets of Emilia Romagna's wines. So first, let's just set the table. We are in the land of Parmigiano Reggiano, prosciutto di Parma, traditional balsamic vinegar. These aren't just foods, you know? They're global icons, and they create the absolute perfect backdrop for discovering the wines that were literally born to go with them. And that is exactly what we're here to do. I want you to think of this as a journey to uncover a hidden treasure. Because while everyone knows the food, the wine of Emilia Romagna is a secret that's just waiting to be discovered. So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, like with any great wine, it all starts with the land itself, the terroir. That's really just the magic combination of soil, climate, and geography that gives a wine its unique personality, its soul. And this region is probably best described as a mosaico de terroirs, a true mosaic of landscapes. It's not just one uniform place, it's this complex and beautiful patchwork of different terrains, and each one adds its own unique flavor to the final wine. Let's break that mosaic down a bit. You've basically got three major players shaping the grapes here. Up north, you have the Po River, which creates these fertile plains that are just perfect for fresh, fruity grapes like Lambrusco. Then, down south, you get the Apennine Mountains, bringing higher altitude and all these little microclimates for more structured, complex wines. And finally, over on the east, the Adriatic Sea brings in that Mediterranean climate and those cooling sea breezes, which help create really elegant, balanced wines. So, we've got the land down. Now let's meet the main characters in our story, the native grapes that are really the heart and soul of winemaking in Emilia Romagna. And we have to start with the most famous name, Lambrusco. But okay, let's clear something up right off the bat. Lambrusco is not a single grape. It's a whole family of different but related red grapes. Thinking it's just one thing is kind of like saying all berries are the same. Each member of the Lambrusco family has its own completely distinct personality. And this shows that point perfectly. Just forget any idea you have that Lambrusco is just some sweet, simple, fizzy red wine. On one side, you have Lambrusco de Sorbara. It's light, it's floral, it's got these beautiful strawberry notes. And on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you got Grospa Rossa, which is deep, dark, full-bodied, and packed with blackberry and spice. They're two totally different worlds, all from the same family tree. Okay, moving on to another major player, Sangiovese. Now, you've probably heard of this one. It's Italy's most planted grape, the backbone of Chianti. But here, in the Romagna part of the region, it really develops its own unique accent. We're talking beautiful aromas of cherry and violet with this great structure that makes it unbelievably friendly with food. Now, for the region's star white grape, there's a seriously impressive story here. It holds a very, very special place in the history of all Italian wine. Any guesses what that might be? And there it is. Albabana was the very first white grape in all of Italy to get the prestigious DOCG status. And just so you know, that's the absolute highest seal of quality you can get for Italian wine. This isn't just a piece of trivia, it's proof of the incredible quality and potential of the white wines coming out of this region. So, we have these amazing grapes that are shaped by this incredibly diverse landscape. But how do they go from being on the vine to being in your glass? Let's take a quick peek at the process. For the sparkling wines, like a lot of the Lambruscos, they often use what's called the Charmat method. It's actually pretty clever. After they make a regular still wine, they move it into a giant pressurized tank. Then they add a little yeast and sugar to kick off a second fermentation. But, and here's the trick, they seal the tank, so all the carbon dioxide that's created has nowhere to go but back into the wine, and that's how you get those fantastic bubbles. It's a great way to keep all those fresh, fruity flavors locked in. But beyond all the technical stuff, there's the human touch. And this quote really gets to the heart of it all. Winemaking isn't just a science project, it's an art form. The winemaker is trying to tell you the story of that grape, that piece of land, and that specific year, all in a wine that has its own unique identity and personality. Okay, so this is where it all comes together. We've got the world-class food, and now we have these wines that are just bursting with personality. It is time to bring them together on the same table. And this is where the magic really happens. A classic plate of prosciutto di Parma with melon is just perfect with a light Lambrusco di Cerbara, because its bright acidity just slices right through the richness of the ham. For a big, hearty bowl of tagliatelle al ragù, you need a wine with some backbone, like Sangiovese di Romagna, to stand up to that sauce. And for something delicate like tortellini in a simple broth, a crisp, clean Albana is the perfect partner. It really is a symphony of flavors. Look, we've really only just scratched the surface of this amazing wine region today, but the best part is your own journey of discovery can start right now. If you ever get a chance to go, you have to look for the Strada dei Vini e dei Sapori, which literally means the roads of wine and flavors. These are actual routes that wind their way through vineyards, past wineries, and into little towns, connecting you directly with the people making all this incredible stuff. It's the ultimate way to experience the region. So the main thing to take away from all this is to think of Emilia Romagna as a treasure chest with two compartments. One is filled with that world-famous food we all know and love, and the other is filled with these incredible, often overlooked wines. The only real question is, which treasure are you going to discover first?